Have you ever picked up a bowl of fresh blueberries, thinking you're doing something good for your body, only to discover later that, without even realizing it, you may have mixed them with something that completely cancels out their benefits, or worse, makes them harmful? It sounds almost unbelievable, doesn't it? Blueberries are often hailed as a superfood, packed with antioxidants, brain-boosting compounds, and gentle fiber that helps digestion. But here's something few people talk about, especially in the world of senior nutrition. What we eat with those blueberries can quietly turn a healthy choice into a troublesome one. And for older adults whose bodies are more sensitive to inflammation, digestion, and blood sugar changes, the risks grow quietly but steadily. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because this isn't about fear, it's about knowledge, peace of mind, and taking back a little more control over your well-being. That quiet moment in the morning when you pour some blueberries into your oatmeal or blend them into a smoothie, it should be a time of nourishment and confidence. So today, we're going to gently unpack which food combinations 3 to be exact can cause blueberries to lose their benefits or even contribute to health issues you've worked hard to avoid. And more importantly, we'll talk about simple ways to keep your food working for you, not against you. Before we dive in, let me gently invite you to subscribe to this channel if you find comfort, clarity, or help in our videos. We're here to support you through the ups and downs of aging with grace, strength, and dignity. Now, let's get back to those blueberries and the unexpected foods that may be clashing with them inside your body. First, let's take a moment to talk about why blueberries are so treasured, especially for people over 60. Blueberries are rich in compounds called anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidants that help fight free radicals, the little troublemakers that cause damage to our cells and contribute to aging, memory decline, and even chronic illnesses. According to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, daily blueberry consumption was linked to improved cognitive performance in older adults. That's not hype. It's science backed by observation and time. Many doctors and nutritionists recommend a handful of blueberries a day for brain health, heart health, and even mood regulation. But here's where it gets a bit more complicated. Just like the right conditions help a plant grow strong sunlight, water, rich soil, your body also needs the right internal environment for these nutrients to be absorbed and used well. The foods you combine with blueberries can actually interfere with that process. And the first unexpected culprit? Dairy. Now, this might come as a surprise because so many of us grew up hearing that yogurt with fruit was a perfect health food. And in some ways, it still can be. But when you mix blueberries, especially raw blueberries, with dairy products like milk or yogurt, something interesting happens on a chemical level. Studies, including one from the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, have shown that dairy proteins can bind to the antioxidants in blueberries, making them less available for your body to absorb. In simple terms, the good stuff in blueberries gets trapped and flushed out before it can help your cells. Let's make that more relatable. Imagine you've planned a lovely afternoon walk, fresh air, gentle movement, sunshine, and just as you're heading out, someone pulls the shades, blocks the door, and keeps you inside. That's a bit like what happens inside your body when blueberries and dairy meet. The helpful antioxidants are ready to go to work, but they're blocked. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy blueberries with yogurt again. It just means if you're eating them for their antioxidant power, you might consider having them separately. Maybe eat the blueberries with a sprinkle of nuts in the morning and save the yogurt for a snack later. That small change can go a long way. I remember a conversation I had with an older gentleman named Harold, a retired teacher in his early 70s. He was sharp, witty, and full of questions. He told me, "I eat blueberries every day, but I don't feel any different." When I asked how he eats them, he said, "I blend them with milk into a smoothie every morning." That was a light bulb moment for him. He didn't have to give up his smoothie, he just switched to a non-dairy base, like almond milk, and within a few weeks, he noticed his digestion improved and he had more mental clarity in the mornings. Sometimes, it's the small tweaks that bring the biggest rewards. The second food to be careful with might feel a bit more surprising: refined sugars. Blueberries are naturally sweet, but when we combine them with sugary cereals, store-bought, granola, or overly sweetened smoothies, we change the entire effect they have on the body. Why? Because high sugar levels spike insulin and blood glucose, which sets off a chain reaction that can trigger inflammation. This directly competes with what blueberries are trying to do: reduce inflammation. It's like putting your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. Think of inflammation as a small fire burning quietly inside the body. Blueberries can help cool that fire, but refined sugar? It pours gasoline on it. For seniors dealing with joint pain, heart concerns, or cognitive decline, inflammation is no small thing. It's often the silent engine behind fatigue, forgetfulness, and that general off feeling many older adults can't quite put their finger on. One woman I spoke to, named Janet, had struggled with joint stiffness and occasional memory fog. She was diligent about her health, always had fruit in the morning, walked daily, and drank plenty of water. But she loved her blueberry muffin from the bakery down the street. "It's my treat," she'd say. The trouble was, those muffins were packed with processed sugar and white flour. We talked about ways she could keep her treat, but reduce the damage, like switching to a homemade version with almond flour and no added sugar. When she made that shift, her knees didn't ache quite so much after her morning walks, and she started noticing names and details came back a bit more quickly. Again, small steps, big differences. Let's pause here just for a moment. If you're starting to feel overwhelmed or wondering if every bite you eat is a potential danger, take a deep breath. That's not the message here. The truth is, aging comes with enough worries. We don't need more guilt or confusion about food. The goal is awareness. Knowing what combinations to avoid helps you make simple, confident choices that work with your body, not against it. You're not doing anything wrong, you're just learning how to do things even better. And that's something to feel good about. Now, the third food group we need to talk about might not be something you think to associate with blueberries at all, but it's more common than you'd expect. And it has to do with iron, specifically iron supplements or iron-fortified foods. Iron is essential, especially as we age. It supports healthy red blood cells, energy levels, and overall stamina. But here's the twist: iron, particularly in supplement form or in iron-fortified foods like some cereals and meal replacement bars, can interfere with the absorption of certain antioxidants, including those in blueberries. It's not that iron is bad, it's that timing matters. When blueberries and iron are consumed together, their competing properties can reduce the bioavailability of those wonderful polyphenols and anthocyanins we talked about earlier. In other words, your body may absorb less of the good stuff from both. It's like trying to listen to two people talking at once. You don't fully hear either one. If you take an iron supplement or eat fortified cereals in the morning, try to have your blueberries a few hours later, maybe as a midday snack or part of your lunch. This spacing gives your body a chance to absorb each nutrient more effectively, without them stepping on each other's toes. One gentleman I worked with, Robert, had been taking an iron supplement for mild anemia. He also loved putting blueberries in his fortified bran cereal every morning. But after learning about how iron can interfere with antioxidant absorption, he adjusted his routine. He moved his iron pill to the evening and started having blueberries with a slice of whole grain toast mid-morning instead. After a few months, his energy improved, and he even reported fewer headaches and less brain fog. It wasn't magic. It was just a better understanding of timing and absorption. So, now we've talked about these three combinations: blueberries, with dairy, with refined sugar, and with concentrated sources of iron. None of these are bad foods in themselves. Yogurt, cereal, supplements, they all have their place. But when we're looking to protect our memory, reduce inflammation, or boost heart health, we want blueberries to do their job. That means being mindful of how we pair them. And that brings us to something deeper, something more emotional than just what's on the plate. Food is personal. For many older adults, meals are tied to memory, comfort, and routine. Maybe you've been eating your blueberries the same way for 20 years. Maybe you share that morning muffin with a partner, or your smoothie reminds you of the health kick you started when you retired. Changing those habits might feel like giving up a piece of something meaningful. That's why these conversations need to be gentle, not judgmental. Aging with grace isn't about strict diets or chasing perfection. It's about making choices that help you feel more like yourself, clearer, stronger, more in tune with your body. And the beauty of it is, you don't have to change everything overnight. You might just start by trying a small bowl of fresh blueberries with a handful of almonds, or blending them with unsweetened almond milk instead of dairy. Tiny changes, made consistently, can reshape your entire sense of well-being. And that well-being reaches far beyond just physical health. When you feel clearer in the mind and lighter in the body, you tend to feel more confident, more social, more like participating in life rather than sitting on the sidelines. I've seen it time and again, people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who made one small nutritional shift and suddenly had the energy to garden again, to play with their grandkids, or to take that day trip they'd been putting off. This isn't just about blueberries. It's about taking small steps toward the life you still deserve. Let's not forget, too, that eating well can be a joy. There are so many ways to enjoy blueberries without losing their power. Try tossing them into a green salad with spinach and walnuts. Or stir them into a warm quinoa porridge with cinnamon and chia seeds. If you like smoothies, try blending blueberries with unsweetened almond milk, a half banana, and a tablespoon of flaxseed. Not only will your body thank you, your taste buds will too. It's not about deprivation. It's about discovery. And if you're someone who feels a little skeptical, or perhaps even frustrated by how many rules there seem to be about eating as we age, I hear you. It's exhausting sometimes, isn't it? Just when you think you've got it figured out, there's something new to consider. But here's the truth. You're already doing something powerful just by caring enough to learn. By watching this video, by staying curious and open, you're showing up for yourself in a way that many don't. That matters. That deserves recognition. So, the next time you hold a handful of blueberries in your palm, see them not just as fruit, but as allies. They want to help your body fight inflammation. They want to support your memory, your energy, and your mood. All they ask in return is a little mindfulness about who they're paired with. If this message resonated with you, and you'd like more gentle, research-backed tips to help you navigate nutrition, relationships, emotional wellness, and the challenges of aging, stick with us. This channel is more than just health talk. It's a space to feel understood, respected, and empowered. We'll explore topics like how to eat for a sharper mind, how to handle grief and loneliness in later life, how to reconnect with family, and how to find purpose even when the world feels like it's moving on without you. You're not invisible. You're not alone. And you certainly haven't missed your chance to live well. In fact, in many ways, your best chapter may be just beginning. Coming up in our next video, we'll be talking about what one small breathing technique less than 2 minutes a day can do for your sleep, anxiety, and blood pressure. You don't want to miss it. Until then, stay kind to yourself. Choose foods that love you back. And remember, you're not just aging, you're evolving.